True fortune doesn't begin with luck. It begins with thought. Every great achievement, every fortune ever made, first existed in the mind of someone who believed it was possible. The mind that builds fortune is a mind trained in clarity, purpose, and discipline. It sees beyond obstacles and focuses on opportunity. It replaces fear with faith, doubt with definite purpose, and excuses with action. According to Napoleon Hill, wealth, whether material or spiritual, is a byproduct of mindset. The mind becomes magnetic when filled with a burning desire, fueled by belief, and directed by persistent action. Fortune is not found. It is attracted by those who align thought with vision and persist until it becomes reality. Napoleon Hill taught that thoughts are things powerful, creative forces that shape our reality. The mind that builds fortune is not a lucky mind, but a disciplined one. It is guided by a clear, definite purpose, driven by a burning desire, and sustained by faith and persistence, even when results are not immediate. This mind doesn't wait for success to arrive. It attracts it. It feeds daily on goals, visualizations, and affirmations. It does not entertain fear, doubt, or limitation, because it understands that what is repeated in thought becomes belief, and belief becomes action. It is also a mind trained in autosuggestion, deliberately planting powerful messages until they become part of one's subconscious programming. It knows that riches start not with a bank account, but with a mental blueprint of abundance, confidence, and resilience. Importantly, this mind doesn't just dream, it acts. It turns plans into habits, and habits into results. It treats failure as feedback, not defeat. Obstacles are seen not as barriers, but as tests that separate the weak from the determined. Ultimately, the mind that builds fortune is a creative, persistent, and purpose-driven force. It does not just chase wealth. It creates value, solves problems, and contributes meaningfully. Fortune is simply the reward for building a life on powerful, intentional thinking. The fish are looking around and see nothing but water all around them. They don't know there's more to life than the pond. One day, one of the fish manages to break free of its boundaries and finds out there is a whole world outside of the pond, a world full of possibilities. This fish starts traveling around and eventually comes across an ocean, a vast body of water much larger than any body of water it had ever seen before. The fish is overwhelmed by the immensity of the ocean and realizes that there is so much more to life than its little pond. From that day on, the fish swims in the ocean, enjoying the freedom and possibilities that come with it. What does this story have to do with building a fortune? Let's go back to our original quote. The mind that builds a fortune has no limits. If you apply this to the fish story, you can see that the pond represents the limits that we place on ourselves. When we think we can't do something or that something is impossible, we are essentially building a pond for ourselves, limiting our potential and what we can achieve. On the other hand, the ocean represents the limitless possibilities that exist when we believe in ourselves and our abilities. Just like the fish, we need to break free of the limits we set for ourselves and explore the vast world of opportunities that await us. When we do this, we open ourselves up to the possibility of building a fortune. How do we break free from the pond mentality? First, we need to be aware of the limits we are setting for ourselves. This means identifying the negative thoughts and beliefs that hold us back and challenging them. Second, we need to start thinking bigger and bolder. This means setting high goals for ourselves and being willing to take risks to achieve them. Third, we need to focus on our strengths and what we can control. This means not worrying about things that are beyond our control and instead focusing on the things we can influence. Finally, we need to be persistent and never give up. This means staying focused on our goals even when we face setbacks and obstacles. Building a fortune is not just about making money, it's also about living a life without limits. It's about breaking free from the expectations of others and pursuing our own dreams. By adopting the mindset of the fish that swims in the ocean, we can start building the fortune we deserve. No. 2. The mind that builds a fortune thinks in terms of assets. Most people think in terms of expenses rather than assets. They see every purchase as a necessity rather than an investment in themselves or their future. For example, a new TV or a luxury car might seem like a necessity to some people, but in reality, it's just an expense. On the other hand, investing in a new skill or education is an investment in oneself that can pay off in the long run. The good news is that it's never too late to start thinking in terms of assets. Even if you've made some bad financial decisions in the past, you can turn things around and start investing in your future. Here are 4 steps you can take to start thinking in terms of assets. First, Educate yourself about personal finance and investing. There are plenty of resources available, both online and offline, that can teach you the basics of investing and how to make smart financial decisions. Second, develop a budget and stick to it. A budget is essential for ensuring that you're spending wisely and investing in your future. Third, diversify your investments. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Instead, spread your investments across different asset classes and industries to reduce risk. Fourth, be patient and don't expect to get rich quick. Investing is a long-term game, and it takes time to see results. Don't fall for the trap of get-rich-quick schemes. Instead, focus on making smart investments that will pay off over time. 3. The mind that builds a fortune sees opportunities where others see problems. We all know that Steve Jobs was a brilliant innovator who co-founded Apple and changed the world with his inventions. But did you know that he was also a problem solver? In fact, Jobs famously said, "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life," which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. These words are a testament to his problem-solving abilities and how they helped him create some of the most innovative products of all time. For example, when Jobs was in college, he took a calligraphy class because he was fascinated by typography. He saw an opportunity to make Apple's MacBooks more aesthetically pleasing by incorporating calligraphy into their design. This attention to detail helped Apple stand out from its competitors and became one of the key factors in the company's success. Similarly, when Jobs returned to Apple in 1997, he saw an opportunity to make the company more customer-friendly. He introduced the slogan, "Think Different," and the iconic rainbow logo to represent Apple's unique approach to technology. These changes helped Apple connect with its customers on a deeper level and rebuild its brand. So if you want to build a fortune, you need to be a problem solver like Steve Jobs. Look for opportunities to improve people's lives and solve their problems. Be creative and innovative in your thinking, and don't be afraid to take risks. With hard work and determination, you can turn your ideas into reality and build the business of your dreams. Number 4. The mind that builds a fortune is always learning. If you want to build a fortune, you need to be a lifelong learner. This means being curious, asking questions, and never stopping to grow and learn. There's a saying that goes, "If you think you know it all, you'll end up with all kinds of problems." This is so true when it comes to building a fortune. If you think you know everything, you won't be open to learning from others, and you will miss out on opportunities that could change your life. Take Bill Gates, for example. He's one of the richest people in the world today, because he was a lifelong learner. Gates was always curious about new technologies and trends, and he used this knowledge to build Microsoft into the company it is today. Another great example is Oprah Winfrey. She is one of the most successful talk show hosts of all time, because she was always eager to learn from her guests and incorporate their lessons into her own life. So if you want to build a fortune, remember to never stop learning. Be open to new ideas and perspectives, and use what you learn to improve your life and help others. This is the way to achieve true success and build a legacy that will last a lifetime. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please share it with your friends and family. We appreciate your support and hope that you continue to tune in for more videos like this in the future.